So because I knew how to fight, because that was my natural response. So we got into a very big fight because how could you do this to me when I am here trying to help you? And you gave me the point of she broke the point of the pencil and gave me the pencil point. So we had a fight. Greetings, everybody. Listen, I'm so grateful for everybody who has subscribed to the channel, who has shared, who has turned on the post notification. Those of you who have commented, I've been reading the comments. Those of you who DM me, telling me about how it is, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As you know, we have to, and I'm so blessed that, I have this platform to just tell the world about how God has been my keeper. And you have been sharing your testimonies with me as well of the times when God has kept you. So thank you so much, everybody. Continue to share, continue to like the videos and to comment. So on today's episode, I want to talk to you as a follow-up on the last episode. While we're running the race that God has set before us, it's not only about us and our race. We are our brother's keeper. Paul has said it in Galatians 6, that we are to bear one another's burdens. If anybody has fallen into any diverse sin, those of us who are strong should help that brother or sister up. And we should be mindful that else we fall into the same temptation. And no one is perfect. So while we're running our race, it's not just a race that's just about us. And I'm perfecting myself and I am doing what's best for me. In Galatians 6, verses 1 to 2, dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back to the right path. And be careful not to fall in the same temptation yourself. Share one another's burdens, and in this way we obey the law of Christ. If you think you're too important to help someone, you're only fooling yourself. You are not too important. So while we're running our race, we have to ensure that when we have a relationship with God and we're hearing from God and we are communing with God, we are able to help our brothers and sisters, because there was a point when we needed help. There were points when I needed help and somebody was there to help me. So I want to just get a little more into that. And the fact of the matter is, we live in a selfish and a cruel world. And guess what? Selfishness does not seem like such a bad thing, because people, there's just so much evil in the world. So I have to preserve myself. It's important for me to preserve myself in this very selfish world. So from I was a young child, I witnessed a murder. I witnessed a friend killed his friend. They were quarreling over some foolishness. And so I saw that, and that is a stain in my mind that will never be removed. Because to actually at that young age witness someone take their last breath, it's something that you cannot erase that. And the fact of the matter is that we knew that it was his friend who did it. Then how must I trust people now? So I have to live, for me, I have to live for the best thing for me. And my father used to always say something, and I held it dearly. We are we, and the rest are weevil. That means we are, we're the flour. If you're gonna bake a bread or a cake or whatever, the flour is a very important ingredient. So we are a very important ingredient. And everybody else is like weevils. They'll sieve it, throw it away. Nobody wants a cake with any insect or weevil in it. And that was a very helpful response at the time. Looking back at it now, it was very helpful at the time. And because I shared how we grew up dirt poor. So we didn't have my brother and I, we didn't have the fancy bag. We didn't have, the JanSport and the Clarks and so on. We had us regular cheap bag. And my father used to say, anything you have is the best thing. Everything else that anybody have is foolishness. So all if it's ugly, if it's cheap, no matter how it is the best. So I grew up quiet but very arrogant because I believe that everything I have is the best thing and your thing is not as important as mine. And so that was a mechanism that helped to protect me from being bullied and so on. But it was still interesting that I would exude that outside, but inside I was very sad because I wanted a cell phone. I was in a class and everybody have a cell phone except me. So even though I used to say, I don't need no phone, and it hurt because I wanted a phone. But so I would exude that type of, selfishness. And so as I grew and I moved through life, I wanted the things that was best for me. Because you cannot trust people. And my father used to say, he not trust nobody, not even himself. Because sometimes the thing that you say you're not going to do, you end up doing it, so you can't trust yourself. And so because I can't trust anybody or even myself, I'm not going to help anybody to get through whatever they're going through, because I am over here going through something. So I realized now that I was very selfish. I used to help, but I was still very selfish. And another life experience that fed that belief that, listen, I can't trust anybody. I had a very close friend, and I remember when I got a promotion, and my very close friend looked me in the black of my eye and told me, we're now on the same level, so we cannot be friends anymore. I'm laughed because I thought it was a joke. But homegirl was serious. Homegirl cut me off. And the amount of stress I went through because of that, because I didn't do anything, but I did nothing. Didn't we always talk about winning together? Didn't we always talk about, yeah, man, life is gonna change for you, you're gonna, upgrade yourself. Didn't we talk about that? And now that it happened, you have the audacity to be able to look me in the black of my eye and say that to me? Then we can't trust people. And I felt so angry and upset that I even allowed myself to call her my friend. And it just went right back to, you not to trust people. And going even far back, as a child, I was in primary school, and we had an exam today. And one of my classmates, she shared she didn't have a pencil to write her exam. So I knew how it felt not to have a pencil, because the day before, somebody gave me a pencil, because I didn't have a pencil. And so I said to the girl, break the pencil in half. You can take the half with the rubber, because I have another rubber in my bag. And the girl took my pencil and gave me the point of the pencil, sharpened my pencil, and started to write her thing. And I am left without a pen, with a pencil point and a rubber. So because I knew how to fight, because that was my natural response. So we got into a very big fight, because how could you do this to me when I am here trying to help you so that we both could do our test? And you gave me the point of she broke the point of the pencil and gave me the pencil point. So we had a fight and the teacher had to come and, sort out the fight. So that registered in me. So when I became close to that friend and that happened to me, I was like, but Kerriann, look at the track record of your life. How can you trust people and call people your friend? Just focus on you. And so I started to do that. So now that I've encountered God in a real way and pursuing a relationship with Him, I realized that I was the same person to Him that those persons were to me. So as I got serious about my relationship with God and got serious with getting to know God and getting into His Word and worshiping and praying and learning, the character of God, I realized that God is love. So when Paul told the brethren in Galatians that, bear one another's burden, it is a mark of love. And he said, this is how you obey Christ. And Christ in St. Matthew told us the commandments to live by. 1, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your body. And the second, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And helping somebody to run their race, it don't only mean a friend. It means you have to help your enemy as well. You have to help somebody who hurt you as well. And the very same person who told me that, listen, we're on the same level, so we can't be friends anymore, sometimes past that person needed help from me. And of course, my first response is, no. You don't mean me no good, so I have no help to give to you. And I remember I was arrested by God. I felt arrested. And I realized that the same way that those people were to me is the same way I was to God. And it brought me way back to my concept of God and who I thought God was. God is this mad scientist and God just wants everybody to suffer and God is wicked. I even while believing that and cursing God, Him still wake me up. Him still make our provisions. Me still get work. Me still get blessing. Me still get rain. Me still get sunshine. And I was not His friend. I didn't want anything from God. I rejected God. But He was still there for me. And that is helping your brother to run the race. Now, I'm not talking about being naive and being a pushover. That's really not what I'm saying. Because if somebody wants to kill you, God is there to give you wisdom. And which is why it is important for us to seek the Lord in every single thing we do. And when I sought the Lord and He revealed that to me, that the very same way they are to me is the same way I am to Him, I helped her. Because I now have an understanding of what real love is. Love is not a one-way street where I benefit, and once I benefit, then it's fine. I have to love beyond when outside of my it being fine. But God will show you while you're running a race that X person needs help, go, whether it's an enemy or a friend. And out of that, it flows naturally too. It starts to flow naturally. So it's not that you have to beg and wonder, should I help? It's just natural for you to help your brother. Because trust me, what you sow is what you reap. And sometimes you in your physical don't reap it. Your children reap it. Your brothers and sisters reap it. Your friends reap it. Your very community reaps it. Whatever you sow, so shall you reap. I don't want my generation problem and sin to be because me never sow right or me didn't sow. You know, and it's not just about sowing money or whatever, as you know what is being. It's the good that you do. I remember when I went for my driver's license test and lessons. And I was there and the person said, "You look like someone that I know." And I'm like, I know I don't know you. And she's like, "Who is your father? Who is it?" You know, she started to question me. And I told her who my father was. And she said, "I'm a friend that from in the 70s and the 80s. Discount. I received that discount because my father was friends with her long before me. I didn't even know her. Now suppose my father never sow a good seed right there. Should I say, "You? I don't want to teach you to drive." So we have to remember that what we sow is what we reap, and it's not only for us. So we have to help our brothers on the journey. And what I find is that one important thing for me in helping my brother or sister on the journey is that it gives glory to God. And my fundamental desire and purpose on earth, I want to give God glory. Because God loved me even before I knew me, even before I knew Him, right? And He helped and He loved and He's there. Even when hardships happen in life, God is still there, still present, still giving, still healing, still helping in every aspect. And so, my God, my Father, my friend, I want to give Him glory. Because I cannot go out and say I am representing Christ and I only love my friends and I don't love my enemy. It wasn't an easy concept for me to grasp at all. The other day I was having a conversation with my spiritual mother and she shared something with me that moved me to the core when she said somebody who was a known enemy of hers destroy her entire life. And God said, help the person. Use your resources, your money, your time, everything, and help this person who is outrightly out to destroy you. And I said to myself, I couldn't do that. I don't want to do that. That is a big thing. But her obedience and her desire to give God glory fully inspired me because, I saw me want to give God glory. And it's the same way I want to be able to share with somebody, listen, give God glory, love your enemy as yourself. Love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, every single fiber of your being. So in this bitter and cruel world where being selfish is the best thing, the right thing, but is it a God thing? And so God reminded me that, listen, I'm to love my neighbor as I love myself. And it didn't say the good neighbor, the half good neighbor, my friend. It said my neighbor. Anybody, any place, any space I'm in, and humans are there, that's my neighbor. Am I loving them like how I love myself? While we are running our race, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Would you like to be running your race and somebody trip you and be a stumbling block in a way? No. So you don't do that to somebody. If you're running and you yourself trip, you would want somebody to help you up. So that is how important it is to God. Because at the end of the day, everything is giving him the glory for us to help each other up. And sometimes we are to God what we accuse people of. And God had to just remind me that, listen, the same way these people hurt you, the same way these persons were selfish to you, the same way these persons were wicked to you, you have been that to me. You have idols. You're on social media when my spirit is calling you to worship and to read. You're chatting to your friend. You're idling. You're being busy when I'm here calling you to commune with me so that I can just commune with you and bless you. And this phone and the Netflix series, that's your idol. Because here we are to commune and you are busy. You're not helping anybody, so the same thing, you're the same thing. Nobody not help me never get no help from nobody, but at the same thing you do to God. So, something for us to think about, to pray about, to meditate on. In what ways have we been selfish to God? So selfish and full of self that we even ignore God. Are we helping our friends and enemies on their race? How have we been really our brother's keeper? Do we bear our brothers and sisters' burden? Or me no business with that, me I suffer too. I don't business with nobody and them problem, me full up a problem. Or are you seeking God for the strength and the wisdom? Because God will give wisdom liberally. And God will tell you when. It's not about you, it's not about your wisdom, it's about what God says, which is why it is important to clock in and key into what God is saying so we can help our brothers and sisters, because God is our Father and every single person, good or bad, is our brother. How are we helping? Are we sharing the goodness of God? Are we sharing our testimonies? Are we sharing the godly principles? Are we helping our brothers? Are we feeding our brothers? Are we clothing our brothers? Our brother who has fallen into crime and to sin and maybe in prison, how are we helping that person? Are we just busy with our lives? Your co-worker coming crying, looking stressed, looking obviously stressed. You're under stress too, but have you stopped to say, God bless you? What have you been doing? So while we're running our race that God has set before us, let us be mindful that our brothers and sisters are running their race as well. So seek God before you interact. So thank you so much for watching, for listening. Leave your comments in the chat. You can tell me how you're doing it. We can talk some more in the comment section. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in.